Honestly, it's these next two products that inspired this whole video because I was like, I cannot go another day without wearing these. Like if there's one thing that you have to try from this video, it's that. Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I really wanted to sit down and reuse some things that I have been dying to put on my face again. I feel like I always try new things, but I don't always sit down and reuse them. So I wanted to just use things that I'm like giddy to put on my face. There have been so many new products that I've tried recently that I really am excited about, so I wanted to just sit down and do a full face with those. We're gonna start off with the base today. I wanted to revisit this right here. This is the Nabla Angel Aura Radiant Plumping Serum Primer. It's a long title, but it's just such a pretty product, and I feel like I haven't used it as much as I would like to, you know, because I'm just always trying new things. So I'm just gonna put this all over. It really does do an amazing job at hydrating the skin. I love the glow that it leaves, but then it also sinks in really well. I've just been really liking this. So the next product I'm going to mention, I have a little update for you guys. I recently tried out the Crunchy Beautifully Flawless Foundation in my video. I really loved how it wore. And then I posted the video and I got comments from you guys saying that Crunchy was an MLM, and I was like, no, it's not. And then my husband and I dove into it and it sure is. So, you know, MLMs, I don't know. There are so many different opinions on MLMs out there, I feel like, but for me, I feel like it's just kind of a bummer because I want to share really good products all the time, but I don't want it to be attached to something else, if that makes sense. So even though I really did enjoy how this looked, I'm not gonna wear it again just because it's just, I don't know, it makes me sad when I feel like really good products have that underlying like layer to it, the MLM vibe. I don't know. I feel like it just kind of taints the whole brand altogether. I recently actually saw that Beauty Counter is an MLM too, which is so strange because like they just started selling in Ulta. So it's very confusing, you know? There's a lot of like brands that are now in retail that are also MLM. So I just didn't even think that this would be, but it is. So instead of using that, I figured I would use something that I have been wanting to wear again. I wore both of these a while ago, not together, but separately. The Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Matte and then the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. This one is like a really beautiful product, and since I don't think I've used it in a tutorial, I think I've worn it on camera, but not in a tutorial, I'm gonna use this one today. I wasn't sure which one I was gonna use, but now that I've held them up, I'm gonna use this. This was sent to me a while back by Chantecaille, which is very generous because it's a very luxurious brand. But you know, I feel like I want to treat myself a little bit today with my base product, so I'm going in with this. I really have been loving the texture of this though, and as you can see, it just evens out the skin tone really well. This is the shade Alabaster, in case you're wondering. I also love that this is a tinted moisturizer, but it's a mineral tinted moisturizer. It doesn't have that much SPF, it's SPF 15, so definitely still wear your SPF underneath. I'm just gonna continue to apply this all over. I'm wanting to do something a little bit spring inspired today, hence the tinted moisturizer. I just feel like looking fresh. And I haven't actually tried that on top of the Nabla product, but it's actually so pretty layered on top. That tinted moisturizer is one of the most skin-like tinted moisturizers I've ever tried. Even up close, you really can't tell that I'm wearing anything, but I feel like it did balance out the overall skin tone, which is what I love. I recently tried the Glowish Bright Light Sheer Concealer. Really into this, actually. I loved the tone and undertone, but since it is a sheer concealer, I wanted to test it out over top of a color corrector. So I'm gonna take one of my favorites. This is the Eggs of Beauty Pink Color Corrector. I'm just gonna do a bit of this underneath the eyes, focusing on the areas that's the darkest, and you can see how immediately that really brightened things up. But I wanted to wear this again because I just felt like it's a really pretty everyday concealer. And I actually love how luminous this is. It's kind of watery, but it's a really gorgeous, gorgeous concealer. I learned last time that it didn't work as well in like the T-zone, but then again, I feel like that was a different formula of foundation, so I'm gonna try this over top of more of a tinted moisturizer to see if that's any better. I'm just gonna press that into the skin with my sponge. And hopefully you can see how glowy this is. I just think it looks so pretty under the eyes. I'm gonna take what's left and apply it to the eyelids to kind of cancel out any discoloration there. And then I really, really wanted to reuse my Milk Makeup Sculpt Stick in the shade Toasted. These are so tiny, but don't let the tininess fool you because I feel like there actually is quite a bit of product in here and a little bit goes a long way. So I still feel like it'll last me a long time. And I said this in my original review, but I really actually ended up loving the size because I feel like you get more precision on the cheekbones, which is kind of nice. So I'm just gonna blend that out with a brush. I feel like this blends out super easily. And I just love the tone and undertone for myself. I'm wanting a little more on the forehead. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out with the same brush. Okay, when I first put this product on, I was shocked. This is the Uoma Beauty Translucent Trippin Smooth Powder. It is so incredible. It seriously is one of the most smooth, but also like barely there powder, but also like long wear powder. I don't really know how this works, but all I know is it's stunning. So I'm just gonna take this underneath the eyes with a small brush. And I feel like this is what made my makeup stay all day. I think it's so beautiful. I also wanted to really quickly revisit another powder which I just barely tried. This is the Lawless Perfecting Powder. It's talc-free, it's a smoothing powder, and it's phenomenal. I'm gonna take the big side of the brush. I just kind of want to smooth out and brighten and add a bit of coverage to the jawline right here. So I'm just going across like that. And I kind of want to add a bit of smooth coverage to the apples of the cheeks because I feel like I have a little bit of splotchiness there. Okay, before we move on to the rest of the face, I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my brows. Wait a second, I realized I wanted to reuse this Kimiko Superfine Brow Pencil. I've been really liking this. And I have the shade Coffee. Okay, for eyes, I really wanted to reuse the MAC Omega Matte Shadow. I bought this after watching a masterclass from Nikki Makeup on Instagram. And it's just such a good, like, everyday, cool toned taupey brown. So I'm gonna use this as kind of my base shadow, focusing it in the crease to start, and then a little bit above with what's left as my transition shade. I'm also pinching the brush and taking that same exact eyeshadow across the lower lash line. And then I wanted to add a little sparkle, and I was cleaning up my beauty room and I was like, wait, I wanna use this again. The Moondust Urban Decay eyeshadow in the shade Space Cowboy. So I'm just gonna take this on my fingertip. I'm just gonna press this all over the eye. I actually feel like these two together pair really well. That matte shadow and then this on top, they just kind of have the same undertone, so I feel like they work really well together. This is such a pretty eyeshadow. Oh my goodness, I love it. I also wanted to revisit the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara. I've been testing this out and I keep forgetting to like keep wearing it so I can give you guys my full thoughts, but it wears really well on me actually so far. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that on the top and bottom lashes. Honestly, it's these next two products that inspired this whole video because I was like, I cannot go another day without wearing these. It's the Bobbi Brown Pot Rouge for lips and cheeks, and I am loving two shades. I bought both shades and love them both. So the first one is Pale Pink, and then the other one is Fresh Melon, and I just think they're the prettiest cream blushes for spring. They're so beautiful. So I'm gonna take this on the bottom of my sponge. First, the shade Pale Pink. And I'm gonna just pop this on the kind of high points of the cheeks actually, more toward the ear a little bit. I really have loved layering the melon with the pink, so I'm gonna show you how I do that. I just think it's the prettiest blush in the world. So now that we've got that on, we're gonna blend in the melon color, which is stunning. I love this one. And I'm gonna just kind of pop that on like the apples of the cheeks and then pull it forward. I don't know, there's something about the combo that like, I'm obsessed with this ombre blush situation. I'm taking the other side of my sponge and just blending the edges of the blush all the way around so that everything looks as seamless as possible. And then I'm gonna take the bottom of the sponge and just kind of press on the corner of the eye here to kind of add a tiny bit of that color into the eye look so that everything's pulled together. I'm wiping off any foundation on the lips. And then I wanted to go into a lip liner pencil that I bought recently, the Urban Decay Liar. I'm gonna line the lips with this. It's a really pretty pink color for every day. You know what? I really want to try a little bit of the Pot Rouge on my lips, but then I'm going to layer another lipstick on the center. So I'm going to take the pink one, kind of go on the edge of the lips with that. Well, isn't that a lovely lip color? Oh my. Honestly, I'd be so happy with that as my lipstick, but I've been dying to reuse something else, and that is the Lancome lipstick. I bought this as well. This is in the shade Tender Mirage, and it's the L'Absolu Rouge lipstick. It's just like a really nice beigey color. I'm gonna apply that in the center. It almost has like a sheen to it, I feel, which I think is just really flattering. So I'm kind of gonna feather that above the lip line a bit just to make my lips look a little more full. But I actually love it layered on top of that pink blush. It kind of made a different color. I actually like that about these. Well, this is the only color in the formula that I have, but it's really sheer. So no matter what lip liner I use, it just kind of like blends into it and adds like a nude beige kind of a color, which I love. Well, I'm so happy with how this looks. It's just so fresh. These blushes, you guys, oh, they're phenomenal. I want Bobbi Brown to make more. I actually was sent the third shade of this in PR. I haven't tried it yet, but they need to make like 10 shades of these because the formula is phenomenal, especially with like the blush craze going on now. I think that like they would do really well. So I don't know if anyone from Bobbi Brown is watching, but please expand the shade range and these blushes. Like you have to, they're stunning. I'm obsessed. Okay, we're gonna assess the situation. I feel like everything looks pretty good. I'm just gonna add a bit more bronzer with what's left on the brush. There's something about this blush color with like my shirt color too. I'm feeling like spring. And my nails. Loving it. Okay, I really like where things are at. So now I'm gonna go in with this setting spray that I've been really loving from Cali Ray. This is the Surf Proof setting spray. It's so nice. It's not like super mattifying, which is great. I also love the mist on it, but I feel like it really sets the face without looking dry or feeling dry on the skin. So I'm just gonna let that dry a little bit. And then once it's halfway dried down, I like to take my sponge and just gently kind of press that in the skin. So now I'm gonna take the other side of that Lawless brush and I'm actually gonna dip into the Uoma Beauty powder one more time because I feel like this really helps with the longevity of my makeup as well. Adding powder when the setting spray is slightly damp, I don't know, it just works miracles for me. Always has, always will. So I'm just gonna go ahead and press that into the areas that I don't want shine. And then I've also been really enjoying the Kimiko Brow Sensei Brow Gel. It's really good. I really like it. It's just a clear brow gel, but it holds the brows in place all day without feeling crunchy, which I really love. Well, friends, there you have it. That's the final look. I don't know. There's something about all these products that I'm really loving. The luminosity, the fresh colors for spring. I'm all about it. I think there's something so gorgeous. I keep staring at my blush though. Like if there's one thing that you have to try from this video, it's that. The blushes. They're so gorgeous. I'm obsessed. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me reuse some of the things that I just was dying to use again. And by golly, this made me fall more in love with these products. Now that I'm able to like use them all together, I feel like this is gonna be like my new everyday routine. It's fine. Genuinely though, I love it so much. I hope you guys enjoyed the look. Let me know if you've tried any of these products and if you're loving them as much as I am. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And yeah, that's it from me today. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.